So I'm Kathryn Mulligan. I'm a GP from the northeast of England, specifically in Sunderland. I trained down in Leeds and then did my sort of junior doctor jobs in that area, and then moved back up to the northeast to do my GP training. And I've been there qualified as a GP since 2014. So probably a few years ago, sort of putting feelers out, thinking about what a life in Australia would look like as a GP. Spoke to sort of like recruitment agencies, spoke to people online that had done the same thing, and just sort of getting food for thought really at that point. And then in May 25, I came out for a serious look around and loved it. As a GP, there was so many positives. Coming from a really high intensity, high stress NHS salaried job, it's like day and night. There's, you get to form really good relationships with your patients, you get to follow them up, you get to be integrated in the community a whole lot more than I was getting in the NHS. And there really is more of a work-life balance here. Sort of people talk about it and you hope it's true, but when you get here it really is true. So one of the people I was speaking to on the online platforms of like UK GPs to Australia, she was working in one of the branches in New Monday and was saying how supportive the team had been through the whole application process, helping with visa applications, helping with the APHRA applications, and that she was really enjoying her job. So really for me, that sort of shone out. I was in a lucky position that as I was looking for jobs, this area that I really loved, the sort of Maroochy River Noosa area, became a DPA. So I immediately said, yes please, I would like that job. And it all just fell into place from there, to be honest. Really, I was applying or starting to apply at the time when things were crossing over. So things were moving from the PEP pathway to the expedited pathway. So initially there was a lot of teething questions where there wasn't exact answers known. But now that it's getting more well established, it's quicker, it's cheaper, it's easier to do. When I applied for a visa, there's different routes you can go down, and when you've never done it before, you need someone to advise you and help you. So Ochre did that and put me in touch with an immigration lawyer who guided me through that, and were very supportive throughout the process. So I don't think you necessarily do have to visit Australia prior to accepting a job and coming out, in terms of obviously you have to know that it's the right country for you, but there's so much you can do remotely. So I really would say there've been exceptional support. I feel like there's always someone I can speak to and things get resolved. It might not be straightforward because these things are complicated with APHRA applications, visas, things that can be bumps in the road, but things get smoothed out. There's good communication, there's good working relationships there. So yeah, I feel very supported. To be honest, it's all been a bit of an adventure. Nothing's been traumatic, nothing's been unenjoyable. It's just different, from being in a house that you've owned in the UK for a long period of time to, into an Airbnb, into a rental, into different environments. It's just more part of the experience. And we've got kangaroos in our garden, kookaburras, cockatoos, all of the spiders as well. But nothing is really, everything keeps its distance. In Australia, it's a lot. You're a lot more autonomous as a clinician. And when we arrived in Australia, we had a 2-day really comprehensive induction in Sydney, where we went through all of the differences between the Australian healthcare system. That real 2-day induction was really invaluable, and I don't think a lot of other companies do that. So that was a really good thing for going coming on this journey with Ochre. And while you're here, you know, you're learning as you go along. You're finding out what you don't know. Your supervisor's on hand. You can go and find that out. There's a lots of similarities as well. Medicine is medicine. It's a beautiful country to live in. So much better work-life balance. It's the medicine you wished you could practice, basically. You know, you can form relationships with your patients. You won't regret it. It's, you know, you can finish on time. You can spend time with your family. You've got beautiful environments around you for the weekends and the evenings. Yeah, do it.